Welcome back to Return My Capital, a channel focused on companies returning capital to shareholders primarily through share buybacks, dividends, and certainly price appreciation applies. The weekly video I call the Dividend Roundup that I publish every Sunday is my favorite content to provide. I start by covering any recently announced dividend increases, decreases, or eliminations. Then we get into upcoming ex-dividend dates for the week ahead. And then we wrap up with dividend payouts that you can expect to receive for the week ahead. My goal for this video is to be your one-stop shop every Sunday to keep you in the know of what's going on with your dividend holdings on a weekly basis. If this is something that you're interested in and don't want to miss, do me a favor, like the video, subscribe to the channel. We'll make some money together and have fun doing it. Thank you very much for watching. Starting out with any dividend changes that were just recently announced, we've got Colgate-Palmolive. I actually made a video about Colgate-Palmolive because it wasn't just a dividend increase. It was actually also a share buyback. But I'll link to that down below. But Colgate-Palmolive, ticker CL, they're going ex-dividend on April 17th. They'll pay out June 15th. It was 50 cents per share per quarter, $2 a year. Now it's 52 cents per quarter, 4% increase, 2.3% yield. Colgate-Palmolive is a dividend king, actually. They've been paying for 62 years. Another increase was JP Morgan. Nice 12% increase on JP Morgan Chase. JPM is the ticker symbol. They'll go ex-dividend on March 31st, so end of the month here, and they'll pay out on April 7th, 59 cents per share, and actually a pretty attractive yield of 2.32% for a company that has appreciated as much as JP Morgan Chase has. I know it's not a high dividend payer, even though it is in the financial space, but still 12% increase, 15 consecutive years of paying that dividend out as it marches toward dividend aristocrat status. Shoe Carnival, ticker SCVL. I could be wrong, but I think this is a company that I used to visit as a child. I think they had the basketball hoop in the store where you could actually shoot buckets while you were shopping for shoes with your mom. But 11% increase, almost a 3% yield. They've been paying for 14 years. Ex-dividend on April 7th, and they'll pay out on April 21st. Lastly, Williams-Sonoma, ticker WSM. They'll go ex-dividend on April 17th, payout May 24th. Almost a 16% increase on Williams-Sonoma. They have been paying out for 20 years now, and they currently sit at a 1.61% yield. So those were the recently announced changes that I wanted to cover. Next, we'll pivot into ex-dividend dates for the week ahead. So again, if an ex-dividend date is Tuesday, that means that Monday is your last chance to own the stock to be able to participate in the upcoming dividend payout, right? So if Tuesday is the ex-dividend date, you need to own that company by close of business Monday so that when that company does go ex-dividend on Tuesday, you'll be counted and you'll participate in the quarterly, most likely quarterly dividend payout. So for Monday, sort of the last chance to own, we've got Best Buy, ticker BBY. So they will pay out on April 15th. That will be 95 cents per share. Price is currently just under $74, over a 5% yield on Best Buy, and they have been paying for 22 years. The other company for Monday is Altria, ticker MO. If you're into high yield dividend investing and you're not put off by investing in sin stocks, then this is no stranger to you. It will be $1.02 payout on April 30th. It is a 7% yield, which is actually pretty incredible if you were to take a look at how well that stock price has been performing recently. It's up to $57.60 per share. They've been paying for 55 years. I think that 55 years also counts from when from before Altria was spun out from Philip Morris, another large tobacco company. But yes, Altria, need to own them on Monday before they go ex-dividend Tuesday if you want to participate in that April 30th payout. No companies I wanted to cover for Tuesday or Wednesday, actually, so kind of a quiet week. Thursday, March 27th, these are companies that are going ex-dividend on the 28th, which is Friday. We have Danaher Corporation, ticker DHR. They'll be paying out on April 25th. Shares are currently $211 and only a 0.61% yield. They have been paying for 12 years, so the next payout will be 32 cents per share. Dick's Sporting Goods, got to own them on Thursday. They go ex-dividend Friday. Ticker DKS. They'll be paying out again on April 11th, and that will be just over $1.21 per share. For whatever reason, some companies really get down into the weeds. The next payout will be $1.21 and 25. So $1.21 and a quarter cent per share. Shares are currently $195, 2.5% yield. Humana, they'll be paying out on April 25th. The ticker there is HUM. They'll be paying out 88.5 cents per share. And those shares are currently trading at just over $266. Yield is 1 1/3, and they've been paying out for 14 years. You've got Medtronic, ticker MDT, almost 50 years of consecutive dividend payouts for Medtronic here. So 47 years, almost dividend king. Shares are currently trading for $90.33. The next payout will be 70 cents per share, so a 3.1% yield on Medtronic. That'll wrap up companies that you would need to own by Thursday. For Friday, so got to own these by the end of the week if you want to participate. We've got Agree Realty Corporation. ADC is the ticker symbol. 4% yield. They'll be paying out on April 14th, 25 cents per share. Shares are currently just over $75 per share, so that's where you get that 4% yield from. We've got Franklin Resources, ticker symbol BEN, as in Ben Franklin. 45 years of dividend payouts, 6.4% yield. Shares are just under $20. Next payout will be 32 cents per share. You've got Camden Property Trust. CPT is the ticker. They'll be paying out their next dividend on April 17th. $1.05 per share owned. Shares are just under $120, so a 3.5% yield. You've got Dillard's, ticker DDS. They'll be paying out on May 5th, so you'll have to wait for that payout for a little bit. You're getting a quarter a share here, 25 cents. Shares are $353 right now, so only a 0.28% yield there on Dillard's. I haven't looked into that one. Hopefully that's a dividend growth story because it's certainly not a high yield story. 14 years paying out there for Dillard's. What else do we have here on Friday? Oh, a lot of small financial companies. You've got Innovative Industrial Properties. IIPR is the ticker symbol. April 15th will be the next payout, $1.90 per share. Shares are only, just under $64, almost a 12% yield there on that REIT. You've got Illinois Tool Works, not a very commonly known company, but they are a dividend king. They've been paying out for 50 years. They've been around a long time. I had looked into them years ago, and I believe they have been incorporated since probably the early 1900s, but maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe I'm making it up, but they are a very old company. They'll be paying out on April 10th, $1.50 payout on that quarterly payout. Shares are $251, so a 2.4% yield. Also on Friday, you've got Mondelez International. MDLZ is the ticker symbol, paying out April 14th, 47 cents per share, just under a 3% yield. You've got Monolithic Power Systems. Shares on MPWR, Monolithic Power Systems, are almost $600 a share, 1% yield there. Next payout will be on April 15th, and that will be $1.56 per share owned. You've got Nucor Corporation, ticker NUE, paying out on May 12th. So again, you're going to have to wait a little bit, 52 years for that dividend king of consistently increasing dividend payouts. $122 per share, a 1.8% yield. Stag Industrial, very popular warehouse REIT. STAG is the ticker symbol. That's actually a pretty awesome ticker symbol. April 15th will be the payout, say 12.5 cents per share, and shares are currently $34. So you've got a 4.4% yield and 15 years of consistent dividends there. And we'll wrap things up with two more. You've got US Bank Corp. USB is the ticker symbol. They'll be paying out April 15th, a nice round 50 cents per share, just under $43 per share. So a 4.67% yield, 13 years of payouts. And we'll wrap up on Friday here with Willis Towers Watson. Let me look into that. I'm not going to look into it now. I think they might own, what was it? Was it the Sears building in Chicago? This is the only reason I was mentioning it. I could, again, just be making that up, but that's why I wanted to call that one out. 92 cents per share. They'll be paying out $332, almost $33 per share on the total price, a 1.1% yield. And that'll wrap things up. So again, the days that I call out those companies, those are the days you need to own them by so that you can participate prior to when it actually goes ex-dividend. And the last segment of this weekly video, probably your favorite segment, we'll touch a couple companies that will be paying out their actual dividends this week. So you can look forward to seeing the dividend payouts actually hit your brokerage account this week. So we have, let's get into this. We've got Allegiant, ticker ALLE. They're paying out on the 31st, 80 cents per share, 1.5% yield. Excuse me. Allegiant is actually 51 cents per share and a 1.6% yield. You've got Ares Management Corporation, ticker Ares, ARES. They'll be paying out on the 31st as well, $1.12 per share, 3% yield. Broadcom, ticker AVGO, they'll be paying out on the 31st, 59 cents per share, 1.2% yield on that semiconductor giant. Very nice company. You've got Bank of America, BAC is the ticker. If you've ever invested in finance companies, finance sector, obviously you know about Bank of America. They'll be paying out on the 28th, 26 cents per share, 2.4% yield. Becton Dickinson and Company, BDX is the ticker, paying out on the 31st, $1.04 per share, 1.8% yield. You've got the three Brookfield, I guess we can call them subsidiaries, paying out this week. The renewable, the infrastructure, and then Brookfield Corporation. So BEP, BIP, and BN are the tickers, all paying out on the 31st. Brookfield Renewable, 6.3% yield. Brookfield Infrastructure, 6% yield. And then just Brookfield Corporation, 0.7% yield. But all three of those are paying out on the 31st. You've got CME Group. CME is the ticker symbol, paying out on the 26th. So what day is the 26th this week? That'll be Wednesday. And CME will be paying out $1.25 per share, almost a 2% yield. You've got Canadian National Railway, very nice railroad company. CNI is the ticker symbol. 31st, they'll be paying out, very end of the month. They'll be paying out almost 89 cents Canadian. I'm not exactly sure the conversion. I guess I could look that up, but 2.6% yield on Canadian National Railway. You've got Citizens Financial Services, CZFS, interesting ticker there. They'll be paying out on the 28th, 49.5 cents per share, 3.4% yield. Domino's Pizza, DPZ, paying out on the 28th, $1.74, 1.5% yield. eBay, ticker eBay, gotta love that, paying out on the 28th, 29 cents per share, 1.8% yield. Elevance Health, ELV is the ticker, paying out on the 25th, $1.71 per share for a 1.6% yield. Eaton, ETN is the ticker, paying out on the 28th, $1.04, 1.4% yield. What else do we have paying out? We've got Gilead Sciences, GILD is the ticker symbol, paying out on the 28th, 79 cents per share, 3% yield. Goldman Sachs, again, if you invest in the finance space, certainly you're aware of Goldman Sachs. GS is the ticker, paying out on the 28th. Not too often you see this, a nice flat, even $3 per share, 2.1% yield. Home Depot, ticker HD, paying out on the 27th, $2.30 per share, 2.6% yield. That's when you know the share price is elevated, is when someone's paying out $2.30 per share and it's only a 2.6% yield. What else do we have paying out this week? We have Linde PLC, ticker LIN, I believe a gas pipeline company, paying out on the 27th, $1.50 per share, 1.3% yield. Lockheed Martin, very, very large defense manufacturer. LMT paying out on the 28th, $3.30 per share, 3% yield on Lockheed Martin. NASDAQ, not the Qs itself, but the actual company. NDAQ is the ticker symbol, paying out on the 28th, 24 cents per share, 1.3% on the dividend. What else do we want to touch on paying out this week? What's the good news? PepsiCo, PEP, consumer staple. I'm sure you've heard of it. I'm sure you've consumed it. Paying out on the 31st, 1.35%, or excuse me, $1.35.5 per share, up to a 3.7% yield on Pepsi. That's you don't see it approaching a 4% yield too much, at least recently. Principal Financial Group, PFG, paying out on the 28th, 75 cents per share, 3.6% yield on PFG. Prologis, similar to a company we mentioned earlier, very large REIT. Prologis PLD paying out on the 31st, $1.01 per share, 3.7% yield. Pool Corporation, Pool, ticker symbol, very creative, paying out on the 26th. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I believe that's Whirlpool, I believe. But paying out $1.20 per share, 1.5% yield. Qualcomm, QCOM, paying out on the 27th. Real nice semiconductor company based out of San Diego, I believe. 85 cents per share, 2.2% yield. RCI Hospitality, RICK, R-I-C-K ticker, paying out on the 31st, 7 cents per share, 0.6% yield. What else do we have? Hanover Insurance Group, THG, paying out on the 28th, 90 cents per share, 2.1% yield. Tootsie Roll Corporation, Tootsie Roll Industries. I always crack up when I see Tootsie Roll. TR is the ticker symbol, paying out on the 27th, 9 cents per share, 1.2% yield. T. Rowe Price, ticker TROW, T. Rowe, paying out on the 28th, $1.27 per share, 5.5% yield, up to 5.5% yield on T. Rowe. Interesting. Travelers Companies, TRB, big insurance provider, I believe. 31st payout date, end of the month, $1.05 per share, 1.6% yield. Universal Health Realty Income Trust, UHT, 31st payout date, 73.5 cents per share, 7.2% yield. Union Pacific, we mentioned Canadian National Railway earlier. UNP, big U.S. railroad company. UNP is the ticker, paying out on the 31st, $1.34, 2.3% yield. Anything else? Wingstop. Gosh, Wingstop has really been crazy from a share price perspective over the years recently. Paying out on the 28th, 27 cents per share, 0.5% yield. And Waste Management, ticker WM, paying out on the 28th, 27 cents per share. Waste Management WM paying out on the 28th, 82.5 cents per share, 1.5% yield. And that'll cover it for the companies paying out this week. So if you own these, get excited. The payments are coming. They're going to hit your brokerage account and either reinvest or be sitting in cash, however you have that structured. But that concludes the dividend roundup for the week of March 24th through the 28th. That'll wrap up the month. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you got something from it, and I hope you have something to be excited about with the companies that we covered. Thank you for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.